Dear students, in this video, I am going to discuss rate of convergence of few methods, secant method, then we will discuss the rate of convergence of Regula-Falsi method and then Newton-Raphson method, which we have already discussed in the previous video. So what is the rate of convergence? Rate of convergence. So here the definition, an iterative method is said to be of order P or has the rate of convergence P if P is the largest positive real number for which there exists a finite constant C which is not equal to 0 such that magnitude of epsilon k plus 1 is less than equals to C multiplied by magnitude of epsilon k raised to the power p. Or equivalently, this can be written as this: epsilon k plus 1 is equals to a epsilon k raised to the power p. Here what is a? A is again a constant just like C. So here is inequality, however here is equality. So this magnitude and this inequality is adjusted by this constant a. This magnitude both sides and this inequality is adjusted by a. So this will be used to find out the rate of convergence. This is the standard definition. However, to find out the rate of convergence, rather than we are using this, we will use this definition. Okay. What is epsilon k plus 1? Epsilon k plus 1 is the error in the k plus 1th iterate. Just like epsilon k, the kth, this is the error in the kth iterate xk, and this is the error in the k plus 1th iterate. So what is epsilon k? Epsilon k is the difference between the approximated root after kth iteration and this is the exact root. So the difference is the nothing but the error. Okay. Now the constant C is called the asymptotic error constant, this constant, and usually depends on the derivative of the function. So this C basically depends upon the derivative of the function at point xi. Okay. So now we will use this, rather than using this definition, we will use this definition to find out the rate of convergence of methods. So now first method is rate of convergence of secant method. So we assume that xi is a simple root of f of x is equal to 0. Simple means single root, no multiplicity. So we assume that xi is a simple root of f of x equal to 0. Then from secant method, what this is the secant method, xk plus 1 is equal to xk minus this bracket which we have, where we have xk minus 1 divided by f of k minus f of k minus 1, then multiply by fk. What is xk? Xk is xi plus epsilon k. Xi is the exact root and epsilon k is the error. Just like here xk means what? This error plus exact root. Okay. Okay. Here error may be positive or may be negative quantity. This error may be positive in the positive direction or maybe in the negative direction. Fine. Okay. Now here when you substitute this value herein, so what is this? Just like here, just increase the index by 1. K plus 1 will be xi plus epsilon k plus 1. So this is written here is equals to, what is xk? Xk is this. So xi plus epsilon k minus xk means xi plus epsilon k minus xk minus 1 will be what? Just like here, xi plus epsilon k minus 1. So this is written here divided by fk, that means f at xi plus epsilon k minus f at xi plus epsilon k minus 1 multiply by fk, that means f at xi plus epsilon k. Fk means f at xk. Okay. So we already aware about this short index, short representation. Now xi is cancelled out with this xi, so epsilon k is equal to epsilon k minus, from this xi is also cancelled out, so we have epsilon k minus epsilon k minus 1. So this is this divided by this quantity. Now expand this function around xi with the help of Taylor series. So again expand this second function around xi using Taylor series. Similarly the third one. So when you expand, for example, this quantity, this function around xi with the help of Taylor series, so we get this expansion f of xi plus epsilon k, first derivative at xi plus epsilon k whole square by factorial 2, second derivative at xi, and so on, divided by, now here when you expand this, so we get epsilon fxi plus epsilon k f dash xi plus epsilon k whole square by 2, second derivative at xi, and so on, minus, now expand this quantity, so we get f of xi minus epsilon k f dash xi minus epsilon k whole f k minus 1 whole square divided by 2, second derivative at xi, and so on. Okay, so now this is cancel out with this term. So what we will have epsilon k minus this quantity, epsilon k minus epsilon k minus 1 into this quantity. So from here, if you will see, xi is basically the exact root. So obviously when you substitute this root, exact root xi in this equation, so f of xi will be 0 because xi is the exact root. So f of xi will be 0, and hence we can say that this quantity will be 0. F of xi will be 0. So we get only this quantity, this quantity. So epsilon k f dash xi plus epsilon k whole square by 2, second derivative at xi, and so on, divided by, now this is cancel out with this. So what we will have this remaining terms, and now from the remaining terms here and here, both these terms having epsilon k common, sorry, f dash xi common. So from here f dash xi is taken common, so we get epsilon k minus epsilon k minus 1. This is k minus 1. So epsilon k minus epsilon k minus 1 f dash xi. Similarly from this term and this term, you can take second derivative of xi of the function at xi common. So we get this quantity epsilon k whole square minus epsilon k minus whole square, and this 2 is here. Okay, now from the numerator part, you will see that in this term here, if you will take f dash xi common, so what we will get? We will get epsilon k minus epsilon k minus epsilon k minus 1 into this quantity, and then remaining one is epsilon k plus epsilon k whole square by 2, second derivative, and now since you have taken this quantity as common, so this is divided here. Okay, plus and so on, divided by, from here you can take this quantity common, so epsilon k minus epsilon k minus 1, first derivative of xi common. So what we will have in the bracket, in place of this we have 1 plus this quantity divided by this quantity, so epsilon k. So since here if you factorize this, so you will have a common factor epsilon k minus 1, which you have already taken care common here. So what we will have left, epsilon k plus epsilon k minus 1, then the second derivative divided by 2 and this quantity. Okay, and so on. Now this is cancel out with this, so we get epsilon k minus this quantity, numerator part, so this is written here, and denominator you can bring in the numerator one by taking the power as minus 1. So this is taken in the numerator part with power minus 1. Okay, and now you can expand the second term, this bracket, with the help of binomial expansion. 1 plus x, in place of x we are having this raised to the power minus 1. So what will be the expansion? 1 minus x, first term will be 1, then minus x and remaining terms. So here we will expand this term by binomial, and so we get 1 minus of x, in place of x we have this term. So that's why epsilon k plus epsilon k minus 1, second derivative of xi divided by 2 f dash xi, and so on, and all the terms are as it is same. Okay, now we have two bracket quantities, so take their product. So this product is written here. So epsilon k minus this quantity is multiplied by this, so epsilon k, this quantity is multiplied by this, so we get this term, then this quantity is multiplied, this quantity is multiplied by this quantity. Okay, and then rearranging all the terms, so basically this is quantity is multiplied by this quantity, so we get this quantity, and second this quantity is multiplied by this, so we get this one. Fine. So now here when you open this bracket and here is a minus sign, so all the signs will be changed, and that's why we get this term. And here epsilon is cancelled out with epsilon, and then this quantity is cancelled out with this quantity. So the smallest term we have is this, and then we are having higher order terms. Higher order terms in the sense of powers. Okay, in the powers, all the are higher order terms means higher powers. So we in the left hand side we have epsilon k plus 1, and in the right hand side the first term is this. So this term plus higher order terms. So if you neglect higher order terms, consider only this term and represent this quantity by C, because we have already said what is C. C is called the asymptotic error constant and usually depends on the derivative, and you will see that these are the derivatives of the function, second order derivative and first order derivative at point xi. So C is, this is basically your asymptotic constant. Okay, so epsilon k plus 1 is C, this quantity is C, and this epsilon k into epsilon k minus 1. This is basically the error equation for secant method. Okay, now we will use this error equation, okay, to find out the rate of convergence. So to find out the rate of convergence, keeping in view of this definition, we will use this definition. So here epsilon k plus 1 is a epsilon k raised to the power p by the definition of rate of convergence, and here a and p both are to be basically constants which are to be determined with the help of this equation. Okay, so now we will use this equation and this equation. So here if you will see, here we have the terms epsilon k plus 1, epsilon k minus 1. So we will find out the values of these two terms in the form of epsilon k. Okay, and we will use this equation to do this. So what we have here, we know that by the definition epsilon k plus 1 is a epsilon k raised to the power p. Okay, so epsilon k plus 1 is, okay, we have already evaluated this in terms of epsilon k. Now next target is to find out this epsilon k minus 1. Okay, so what we will do, just reduce the index by 1 of this equation. So if epsilon k plus 1, reduce the index by 1, so we get epsilon k is equal to a, again reduce the index by 1, so we get epsilon k minus 1 raised to the power p. Okay, now what you will do, just divide this equation by a. So we will get epsilon k by a is equal to epsilon k minus 1 raised to the power p, and then take the power 1 by p both sides. So we get epsilon k minus 1 is equal to a raised to the power minus 1 by p, epsilon k raised to the power 1 by p. Here we have written basically this part here and this part here. That means left hand side goes to right hand side and right hand side goes to left hand side. Okay, so don't confuse. And now we have epsilon k plus 1, epsilon k minus 1. Substitute these. This is say equation number 2, 3 star. Okay, so put this epsilon k plus 1 and epsilon k minus 1 in this equation number 2 here. So what we will get? We will get this epsilon k plus 1 is equal to c epsilon k minus 1. This is equation number 2. So in place of this we are writing this quantity. So a epsilon k raised to the power p is equal to c epsilon k. In place of epsilon k minus 1 I am writing this term. So this is written here, and from here after assembling all these, so what in the left hand side, basically when you summarize this term, so we get c a raised to the power minus 1 by p into epsilon k. This is power 1, this is power 1 by p. So epsilon k raised to the power 1 plus 1 by p. Okay, now you can divide this equation by a. So epsilon k raised to the power p is c a raised to the power minus 1 plus 1 by p, epsilon k raised to the power 1 by p. If you compare the powers, so here the power is p, here the power of epsilon k is p, and here the power of epsilon k is 1 plus 1 by p. So both should be same, and that's why p, this quantity p is equal to 1 plus 1 by p. After solving this, we get a quadratic equation. Apply the Sridharacharya rule. So we get p is equal to 1 plus minus square root of 1 plus 4 by 2. That means 1 plus minus square root of 5 by 2. So taking the positive value, So P is 1 plus square root of 5 by 2. After solving this, we get value 1.618. So that's why P, the rate of convergence of secant method is 1.618. Okay, and there is no need to take this coefficient comparison, but anyhow if you are taking in the left hand side, here the coefficient is 1, here the coefficient of this is the C a raised to the power minus 1 plus 1 by P. So A is asymptotic constant is C raised to the power P upon 1 plus P. Okay, so this is, so ultimately the main thing is that the rate of convergence of secant method is P is equal to 1.618. Okay, okay. Now we have another method which is secant Regula-Falsi method. So Regula-Falsi method. Now if you remember, this was the Regula-Falsi method. Okay, and you have the strategy this. So here you will see that this function is a convex function, and another important thing is that this point is constant, fixed. This point is fixed. Every iterate is started, initially we have taken x0 x1, then in the second iteration you will see that x0 is fixed and x1 is moved to x2. In the next iteration again x0 is fixed and this x2 is moved towards x3. So you will see that this x0 is basically fixed in every iteration and iterates are moving from right to left side, and this is because function is convex. This is the main reason. Okay, so now to find out the rate of convergence of Regula-Falsi, we will assume that our function is convex, so that one point is fixed, only another end point will moving towards the exact root. Okay, another thing is that the formula for the Regula-Falsi method is as it is same as secant method. So we have already solved this, and hence we can say that this will be the error equation, because here you will see that in the secant method error is this. This is the error. This is the error in. So here the error is epsilon k plus 1 is equals to C epsilon k minus 1. This is the formula from the secant method. Error equation for the secant method. Okay, now since in the Regula-Falsi method, if we assume that function is convex in the initial interval x0 to x1, then one of the point x0 or x1 is always fixed. Just like in this example, you will see that point x0 is fixed, but for the another example point x1 may be fixed. That's why, so x0 or x1 is always fixed and another point varies with k index. So if the point x0 is fixed, for example, then the function f of x is approximated by a straight line passing through x0 f0 and xk fk, where k is 1 2 3. Just like here, this function is approximated by this line, passes through x0 f0 x1 f1. In the second equation, this function is approximated by this line, passes through x0 f0 x2 f2. That's why in general x0 f0 xk fk. Okay, so this is so. Then the error equation 2 becomes this. Why? Because you will see that this out of these two, for k is equal to 1, when you put k is equal to 1 here, so what you will get, x epsilon 2 is C epsilon k 1 and epsilon naught. Since one point is fixed, so the corresponding this is for x0 error for x0, and this is fixed because point is fixed, so error will be fixed, and hence this error remains constant. In the next iteration you will see that epsilon 3 is C epsilon 2 epsilon naught. So this varies but this is fixed. ये बढ़ता रहेगा but ये as it is रहेगा. So in general you can say that epsilon k is equal to C epsilon naught epsilon k. So this is for the point x0. Okay, where C is this. C is asymptotic constant 1 by 2 second derivative of epsilon divided by first derivative of epsilon. and where epsilon naught is the error corresponding to the point x naught. So epsilon naught is x naught minus epsilon. Okay, so here c is constant. From this you can see that xi is a root, so this will be a constant value, this will be a constant value, so the ratio will be a constant value, and hence we can say that c is constant. Here epsilon naught is a fixed quantity, this error is fixed, so this is also a constant. So ultimately the multiply of these two constants is a constant, and this is denoted by c star. So ultimately we can say that epsilon k plus 1 is c star epsilon k, where c star is a constant value. So ultimately from this, if you compare this with your original equation, this, if you compare this, so what is the power of epsilon k? Here is p, and p is known as the rate of the convergence. So here in our case, the power of epsilon k is 1, and hence we can say that Regula-Falsi method has linear rate of convergence, यानी p की value 1 है यहाँ. So linear rate of convergence. So you can see that the rate of convergence of secant method is 1.618. However, here the linear rate of convergence, that means p is equal to 1. That means p is equal to 1. So that's why we can say that Regula-Falsi method is slower than secant method, because the value of p for secant method is 1.618. However, the value of p for Regula-Falsi method is 1. That's why this method is faster and Regula-Falsi method is slower. जैसे जैसे p की वैल्यू बढ़ेगी मेथड फास्ट होता जाएगा, और जैसे जैसे घटेगी मेथड स्लो होता जाएगा. ओके, सो Regula-Falsi method is slower than secant method. Okay, now the third method is Newton-Raphson method. So according to the Newton-Raphson method, this is the formula: xk plus 1 is equal to xk minus f of xk divided by f dash xk. We know that what is xk? Xk is exact root plus error, so xi plus epsilon k. And so now expand this, so substitute all these values here. So what we will have, f of xk plus 1 is what? F xi plus epsilon k plus 1 is equal to, what is xk? Xi plus epsilon k minus, this can be written as f of xi plus epsilon k divided by f dash xi plus epsilon k. Okay, so now xi is cancelled out with just xi, so epsilon k plus 1 is epsilon k minus, now expand this with the help of Taylor series. So f of xi plus epsilon k f dash xi plus epsilon k whole square by 2, second derivative of function at xi plus, and so on, divided by here. Now here function itself is derivative, that's why in place of f, here we have f dash xi plus epsilon k. In place of first derivative, just like in previous expansion, here we will have second derivative. तो एक एक derivative बढ़ जाएगा because function itself is a derivative. Okay, so epsilon k f dash second derivative xi plus epsilon k whole square by 2, third derivative of the function at xi, and so on. Now since we know that xi is the exact root, so this will satisfy the equation, so f of xi will be 0. So that's why we will have epsilon k, this epsilon k f dash xi plus epsilon k whole square by 2 f second derivative of xi, and so on, divided by just first derivative of the function at xi plus epsilon k, second derivative of the function at xi plus epsilon k whole square by 2 f third derivative of the function at xi, and so on. Again you can bring this in the, first you can take this f dash common and then bring the numerator part, denominator part in the numerator one. So here we have this, so what we have this. Okay, so this divided, so ultimately after taking this common quantity, if you will take this f dash common, so and again from here, because this is, so epsilon k, this quantity, just you can take f dash common here, similarly they will be cancelled out, so ultimately we will have this is the numerator part and this is the denominator part with, okay, with power -1. Again expand this with the binomial expansion and then multiply, so ultimately we get epsilon k is epsilon k plus epsilon k whole square by 2, second derivative of the function at xi divided by first derivative of the function at xi minus epsilon k whole square, second derivative of xi divided by first derivative at xi minus epsilon k cube by 2, second derivative of the function at xi divided by first derivative of xi whole square, and so on. Okay, they will be cancelled out. So ultimately the lowest term is this. So this is written here plus higher order terms. So if you are neglecting the higher order terms and representing the derivatives involved with the help of c, so the equation will be this. Here important thing is that here we have epsilon k whole square. So ultimately we are writing this f second derivative of xi divided by first derivative of xi and into 1 by 2 as constant c, asymptotic constant. So this equation is written as epsilon k plus 1 is c epsilon k whole square. So since here if you compare this equation with your original equation for the rate of convergence, this, so what is p? In our case p is 2. So here p is 2, p is 2, and that's why we can say that Newton-Raphson method has second order convergence, second rate of convergence. That's why if you compare these three methods, Newton-Raphson method is fastest method among all these three. Okay, then secant method, and the third one is Regula-Falsy method in decreasing order. So first we will have Newton-Raphson method, then secant method, and third is Regula-Falsy method. Okay, so this is the speed of the convergence. Now in the next video we will discuss about the fixed point method or iteration method or successive approximation method. These are the names of this method, but the famous name is fixed point method. Okay, so what is the fixed point method and how to do that, we will take this in the next video. Okay, thank you.